morning and welcome to the virtual anniversary celebration of the SafeSpot initiative, an initiative spearheaded by the Office of the Children's Advocate in partnership with UNICEF and the PSOJ. 1 year ago today, children and teenagers in Jamaica were given a lifeline on which they could pull if they were facing difficulties over the last 2 years and as a result of COVID-19. Today, SafeSpot is celebrating a number of wins and sharing with us the good news and all the developments that have happened in the last year since the initiative started. We'll be hearing all of that today, but this morning I would like to start by acknowledging you joining us online this morning for this event. Let me start with the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Education and Youth. Good morning to you. Honorable Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice. We're also joined by Senator Dr. Angela Brown Burke, as well as the opposition spokesperson on education and training. We also have a number of custodies joining us this morning. The Honourable Errol Johnson, Custos Rotalorum of St. Mary. We've also got the Honourable Marcia Bennett, Custos Rotalorum of St. Thomas. The Honourable Beryl Rochester, Custos Rotalorum of St. Elizabeth. The Honourable Stedman Fuller, Custos Rotalorum of Kingston. And the Honourable Norma Walters, Custos Rotalorum of St. Anne. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, we've got Ambassador Alison Stone-Roof. ACP Charmaine Shand is representing Major General Anthony Anderson, Commissioner of Police. Dr. Ganesh Shetty, Child, Adolescent and Adult Psychiatrist, is also online. Good morning to Ms. Kesia Carr, Chief Executive Officer of the National Parenting Support Commission. To Mrs. Rosalie Gage-Gray, Chief Executive Officer of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. From Child Helpline International, we've got Mr. Richard Umbono, and the President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education, Mrs. Tracy Ann Taff Thompson, also joins us. So I want to also say good morning to Ms. Mariko Kagoshima, Country Representative of UNICEF, and other UNICEF representatives online this morning, and Mrs. Mariam McIntosh Robinson, President and CEO of First Global Bank and Chair of the PSOJ's Human Capital Development Committee. Lots of folks joining us this morning. If you have not yet been acknowledged, members of the media, good morning to you as well. So I'm joined on set this morning by Children's Advocate Diane Gordon Harrison, under whose leadership this initiative has been spearheaded and executed. Good morning to you, Diane.
Good morning,
and
Simone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You must feel really good today.
Yes, particularly pleased to be leading this charge and to be supported by an amazing team. We could not have done it unless there was a team effort, and this really has sustained us from the very beginning. This started as a very personal conversation, if you will, between myself and Mariam. And I said, fancy that. This is something that I think would be a very great catalyst to have a further discussion with UNICEF, and the rest is history. We had bumps in the road, but here we are celebrating 1 year, and what a year it has been.
Well, you're going to tell us all about it in your remarks, but before we head to that, let me tell you more about this amazing lady. Mrs. Diane Gordon Harrison has been the Children's Advocate of Jamaica since January of 2012. She's been Jamaica's National Rapporteur on Trafficking in Persons since March of 2015, making her the first to hold such a post in the Latin American and Caribbean region. She is an attorney at law by profession with over 20 years experience. She's practiced at the public bar since her graduation from the Norman Manley Law School. And prior to her appointment as Children's Advocate, Mrs. Gordon Harrison served as a Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions within the Office of the DPP. Known for her advocacy skills, she states that her current roles provide a national and regional platform from which to promote the rights of children and other people in vulnerable circumstances from a victim-centered and rights-based orientation. She is also passionate about accountability frameworks through which persons who violate the rights of children and vulnerable persons can be held responsible for their actions. Known for her advocacy skills, she states that her current roles provide a national and regional platform from which to promote the rights of children. She is an associate tutor at the Norman Manley Law School, has been an external reviewer for the British Council in Jamaica, and she's been designated champion for CARICOM's regional sex guidelines for courts. In November of 2019, she was certified as a global expert by the Geneva-based Justice Rapid Response roster of global experts in international criminal law for potential deployment worldwide, with a focus on crimes against humanity, war crimes, and international human rights law. And since 2020, she's a serving member of the board of directors for the International Society for the Prevention of Child Abuse and Neglect, a United States-based nonprofit organization that works in over 200 countries worldwide. To say she is qualified, to say she is passionate, this is the right woman to serve and to lead this initiative. And with that said, Madam, I hand it over to you now for your remarks.
Distinguished invited guests in the audience, and of course to you, Madam Moderator Simone, who does such a fantastic job. This morning, it really is my distinct privilege and pleasure to be here to celebrate a full year of SafeSpot's existence. SafeSpot, brought to you by the Office of the Children's Advocate in partnership with the private sector organization and UNICEF, is literally that direct lifeline that provides listening ear services to anyone under 18 years of age in Jamaica. Now, while Jamaica is our home and those are the children whom we target, it's very instructive to mention that we have actually been contacted by children overseas. We've had at least one child from Africa who has reached out to us for help, and another from the United States. At SafeSpot, we see this as a very strong testimony to the quality of the service that we operate and to the ability that SafeSpot possesses to navigate and pull children towards us. So SafeSpot is really for children who just need to talk. It's for children who need a reasonable sounding board of non-judgmental adults who will listen with a nurturing and a very keen ear to the issues that lay on their hearts. It's a service that provides that kind of guidance to help them navigate through difficult circumstances. And it's a service that remains true to the children at heart. We at SafeSpot are a dynamic team. As Simone has said, and I have adverted to it in other circumstances, SafeSpot is truly a team effort. We started out after almost a year of brainstorming, consultations, and discussions through a subcommittee that had been developed with membership from the PSOJ, OCA, and UNICEF, and also with expert guidance along the way as to what was needed to be crafted in Jamaica. As a part of that process, we had, through assistance from UNICEF, Child Helpline International coming on board to do a feasibility study. And throughout that feasibility study, we canvassed not just stakeholders in the field who know a thing or two about children, but very importantly is that we met with children, heard what they had to say, saw the need that they saw through their own eyes, and decided how to culture that particular service so that it fits in with what children are comfortable with. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, SafeSpot has not just a toll-free line, which I'm happy to report is free, whether children are calling from Digicel or Flow because of our partnerships with Digicel and Flow, but we also have a WhatsApp number which provides that ability for children, if they can't speak because they may be overheard, to send a WhatsApp message, and for our counselors who are so trained to provide that support via WhatsApp. We're also on other social media platforms to include Instagram and Snapchat. And as you'll see later today through our website, we now have the web chat feature. Digicel, as well as I mentioned, one of our sponsors, has created SafeSpot's very own BIP channel for children who have Digicel devices. So that consultative approach, which involved the voice of the child and made that very central to how the whole product was designed, I think is one of the good features that makes SafeSpot so relatable to our children. The other thing that I'd like to mention at this stage is that increasingly, not only Jamaica, but regionally and globally, we have recognized that the voice of the child and that right to participate in discussions and decisions that will impact upon the child is particularly important. We at SafeSpot recognize that it's not just significant to play lip service to this, but really to integrate children in a very meaningful way when it matters most. And that is what we have done. I'm proud to say as well that today, after a full year of service, we have had approximately 2,330 contacts. Yes, we had some parents who were curious, but the majority, perhaps about 93% of that number, were children who wanted assistance with a range of issues. I remember, for instance, on the very first day when we launched the service on May 20th last year, our first contact was via WhatsApp from an 8-year-old girl in St. Catherine who related to us that her parents were going through a divorce. She was 8, she was concerned, and she just wanted reassurance that we knew other 8-year-olds who had had this experience and that at some point they would be okay. That human interest story has been the narrative of SafeSpot since we have launched. And this is what makes the service worthwhile, especially when, as you will hear throughout today, children actually come back to say thank you. Because of you, I can sleep at nights. Because of you, I can navigate an issue I'm having at school. And so this is, I think, part of the strength of SafeSpot. Now, before I wrap, I think it would be remiss of me not to say why this idea was conceptualized in the first place. SafeSpot is a direct response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We all know that Jamaica, like the rest of the world, was really upended by disruption of life. We saw people sheltering in place. We saw quarantine orders. We saw school closures. And we saw children being disrupted from their regular course of activities. What this meant was that children no longer had access to their guidance counselors. Children were no longer going to Sunday school or Sabbath school for the Sunday school teacher to make certain observations. And we also saw the real dip in numbers in terms of reports in relation to what was happening to children. As with any crisis, we were cognizant of the fact that it wasn't that children weren't in difficult circumstances. It wasn't that they weren't concerned about things that were impacting them. It was that they had no outlet through which to communicate that. And so SafeSpot brought a service directly within the homes and the palms of children's reach. They didn't have to think about talking to mommy and daddy about traveling anywhere to meet a therapist. They didn't have to think about the cost of such a service. And they didn't have to think about even asking for permission, because SafeSpot was really placed right there squarely in their laps as a 24-hour, 7 days per week, and staffed with competent, caring, and appropriate people. Because when I tell you that our team of psychologists, counselors, intake officers, volunteers, and interns through our partnership with the Northern Caribbean University is as dynamic as it is effective, especially because we're grounded as well through the efforts of our quality assurance coordinator, who gives of her best on a daily basis. We have got it right in terms of the composition. It is not by accident, therefore, that it gives me distinguished pleasure to share with you all that SafeSpot is now a member of the global network of helplines and falls now within the umbrella of Child Helpline International. We are recognized globally as the national and teen helpline for Jamaica, which means that we're compliant with international best practice, which means that we're being looked at by other persons across the region and across the world. And what it means is that not only do our standards have to withstand scrutiny, but they will continue to offer the best and most effective framework for helping our children. So thank you so much for being here. And as I said, it is my pleasure to be in this seat, despite all the hurdles we had at the start, to be celebrating what is indeed a very happy first anniversary for SafeSpot.
Fantastic. Diane, this is a project of innovation and heart that has come to fruition. And you mentioned the team, because indeed no man is an island and we cannot do it alone. And so we want to acknowledge the partners with whom you have worked over the last year to make this initiative the success it has been. They had a message or two for you. Yes. So let's listen to what they had to say.
Hello, I'm Mariam McIntosh Robinson, a Vice President at the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. And on behalf of the PSOJ family, we want to wish SafeSpot huge congratulations on reaching its first birthday/anniversary on May 20th, 2022. SafeSpot was an initiative brought about by the pandemic where the Office of the Children's Advocate, UNICEF and PSOJ came together to create Jamaica's first children's helpline for children under 18. And the Office of the Children's Advocate has done a fantastic job of running this helpline. We are in great hands and we are very grateful for the dedication, the commitment, because they have a lot on their plate, in leading and running this helpline. We at the PSOJ continue to support in any way we can. And again, congratulations, Diane and team. Take care.
Congratulations to SafeSpot on your anniversary. The PSOJ was proud to partner with the UNICEF, the OCA, the British High Commission, and our private sector partners to make the Child and Teen Helpline a reality. We know that with the onset of COVID, our children, they would have faced certain problems. And there was an onset of abuse, health and physical issues that they would have had to confront. And as such, we decided that we would partner to launch SafeSpot. We are so happy to hear that you've had over 1,900 interventions in areas such as family, sexual abuse, just behavioral issues. We're very proud to have been a partner from the inception of this helpline, and we wish you all the very best. Again, congratulations on your anniversary.
UNICEF would like to congratulate the Office of the Children's Advocate and Private Sector Organization of Jamaica on the first anniversary of the launch of Jamaica's National Child and Teen Helpline, SafeSpot. UNICEF was very happy to partner with OCA and PSOJ in the establishment of this free 24-hour counseling and referral service for children and adolescents. We believe that SafeSpot filled and continues to fill a critical gap in the provision of psychosocial support services to children, including those who have suffered abuse and violence. The helpline was an important response to the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, as we saw an increase in violence and abuse against children, while the access to social services for families became more limited and children were increasingly isolated. We begin the process of recovery from the pandemic. We are very aware the need for continued support services for children and their families. UNICEF therefore recognizes and appreciates the significant role that SafeSpot plays in providing immediate, confidential, and free support to children and adolescents, including very young children. We at UNICEF salute and support your efforts in providing this essential service for our young people, and we wish for SafeSpot continued success in the years to come.
A word there from the partners without whom none of this would be possible. I'm sure you're very grateful to them for their support. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay.
It really is teamwork, and I'm very grateful that teamwork delivered.
Yes, let's talk about your team now. An amazing team of counselors that you have, led by a lady I can only describe as a dynamo. She deals with the quality of what happens at SafeSpot and the initiative. And, it's important to get a feel for not only what the partners have to say, but what the engine of the initiative has to say as well. So let me introduce you to this amazing lady. Her name is Anna Maria Dawkins. Have a look at this, everybody.
Hi, welcome to SafeSpot. My name is Anna Maria Dawkins Johnson, and I'm the Quality Assurance Coordinator at SafeSpot Jamaica. They're the epitome of best practice. They are highly committed to protecting and serving the interest of Jamaica's children. They're dedicated and they're very passionate about children's rights. I would say SafeSpot has been very successful. Within the first 6 months, we have achieved international certification. So that means that our practices or procedures or protocols are considered to be of an international standard. I'd also say SafeSpot has been a tremendous success because of the reach that we've had. We've had contact with young people from every parish, from every age cohort. So yeah, we've been doing pretty well. With every new service, there are going to be some challenges. One of our biggest challenges has been with parents who contact the line and getting them to appreciate that children have rights as well and that children experience stress. So it's very important that we are kind and that we offer a listening ear. SafeSpot has certainly had its wins this year. We have a very, very strong volunteer program. In fact, our line is manned primarily by volunteers. We've also established an internship partnership with the Northern Caribbean University, where every semester we get a cohort of counseling, social work, and psychology students. So I'd say definitely SafeSpot has had its wins. Most definitely increased visibility. I would love for the SafeSpot WhatsApp number to be stored in every young person's phone. I'd love for SafeSpot to be the first point of contact, the first point of call for every young person that just feels that they just need someone to talk to, someone who really is there to listen, someone who's there to care. Well done, Team SafeSpot. We've done it. We've made it to a year. I'm looking forward to bigger, better, and brighter things. Go SafeSpot!
The celebration, right? So confetti is always important. And a round of applause for the team members who have just done an amazing job. Talk to me a little bit about your counselors. How do you get your counselors on board? How do you supplement counselors with volunteers? How does the structure work?
All right, so when we started with a quality assurance coordinator to anchor things. And then we started with psychologists. So we have 2 psychologists who are paid to support the service. We have a cadre of counselors, a lot of them guidance counselors and counselors in other disciplines. And then we also have intake officers with counseling experience. Now, having had that particular component, we still had the need, and this is something that is a discussion every time, because they had to go through an interview process. They had to go through screening in terms of their suitability. And then once they passed that particular hurdle, we had immersive training that saw a partnership between local experts and international experts to have them understand the children's rights structure within Jamaica, how children develop, what are some of the issues that children face and how to treat with those, and very importantly, how to offer counseling support in a remote kind of dynamic, because a lot of persons, have an office and people come in and they contact them and so on, or they use now because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Zoom or web chat. This was a service where to maintain anonymity, there's no video.
Correct.
So it was how to do tele-counseling services that continues to be personal and effective and impactful, and also importantly, how to work within the confines of a helpline. And so again, we partnered with Child Helpline International and Childline South Africa, which is the helpline in South Africa that's very old. I mean, they were established in 1986. So they have quite a bit of experience. So there is that immersive training. And then once they clear that, there's continuous training while on the job. Again, because of our membership status with Child Helpline International, we have access to their global learning platform. And so there are sessions that continue to build the capacity of the team. Now, it's no easy feat operating a 24-hour line. And so even though we have a core team, that core team is supplemented by volunteers. And, Simone, when I think about it, what it tells me is that volunteerism is alive and well in Jamaica, because these are people who have busy lives, who just have that yearning and interest to helping the child population in Jamaica. And they too have to go through a screening process, of course. So the interview is done, and then the training and the onboarding. And also we have a very dynamic partnership with the Northern Caribbean University in Manchester. And so their counseling students do practicum placement within SafeSpot. And what's dynamic about that is that we've actually had students who have gone through the practicum placement and who now have transitioned to volunteer because their experience was so rewarding that they want to continue that engagement.
Well, we say thank you to all who have volunteered, and we ask you to stay tuned, because towards the end of today's event, you'll see how you can jump on to the SafeSpot. Well, I'll have I won't preempt it, but I'll have Diane talk you through that. But it's good to hear that volunteerism is alive and well in Jamaica, and that there are folks who have a vested interest in Jamaica's youth.
I just want to say as well, Simone, that we have non-Jamaican volunteers as well.
Do you?
We do. So we have persons who work with foreign missions and high commissions and so on.
Where in the world are those persons?
Well, they're here, but they're not Jamaican. So we have, for example, one of our volunteers who started from day one is a member of staff at the British High Commission.
Fantastic.
And so it tells you that volunteerism is contagious.
Yes.
And people do good because they're so moved.
Yes. In Jamaica, would I say that nice?
Yes.
Nicey? Yes. All right. So let's meet some of the folks who are the anonymous faces behind this initiative, but really the heart of everything that happens. You know, oftentimes we think about what the end user is getting and what the children and the teenagers are getting from this initiative, but I want to tell you that these counselors are getting a lot from it themselves, and in their own words, they're going to tell you about that.
The year for me has been one of two things. The first being that it has been absolutely refreshing, and refreshing because we have an active and functioning helpline in Jamaica. Can you imagine that? It's also good to be a part of a team that is passionate, that is committed, and that is driven. Each member wakes up each and every day ready and willing to support the children. They work tenaciously 24/7, 7 days a week to ensure that every child and young person that contacts the SafeSpot helpline gets the relevant support and gets a positive support to be able to combat the difficulties that they're faced with. Now, aside from that, it's been very positive in the sense where we've been able to support children to lead normal lives. So it's very gratifying when you get a message from a young person to say thank you for the support, but more importantly, when you've interacted with a young person who was in a very bad state but is now competent, a person who is confident, a person who is positive, and someone who is thriving academically, thriving socially, and is able to come back to say thank you for that, and able to say to you, this is how I've been utilizing the strategies that you have given me. So it's good to see that. And I guess on that note, it's just imploring those persons who are struggling. From time to time, we all have issues and we all need support. And so I implore everyone and anyone who is out there, every child, every young person, if you need support, SafeSpot is anonymous, SafeSpot is safe. We have a team that is very committed and willing to support you. So please get in touch with us.
During my interactions with the children who contact SafeSpot, I have learned that once the atmosphere is safe, they are cooperative and willing to share information in the hopes of receiving help. Also, with guidance, they are able to identify different approaches in order to address their challenges in a healthy way. To those children and teens who haven't yet visited SafeSpot, I must encourage you to do so today. Forget about all the stigmas attached to counseling and go get that help you need. SafeSpot provides a safe space where you can openly share about any difficulties you might be experiencing and receive professional guidance on how to deal with them.
My experience at SafeSpot so far as we approach our 1-year anniversary has to be described as bittersweet. Now, it's been bitter when I've had to learn of the experiences and some of the situations faced by our children, which has made me sad at times and my heart really bled for them. But on the other hand, I'm very grateful that we have this platform that caters to children and teens specifically, where they can be supported by trained professionals free of cost to them. Now, it feels really rewarding knowing that we're helping so many children find their way through their storms, providing a safe, non-judgmental space to talk about anything really, and to be supported with empathy, be supported with a listening ear, guidance, encouragement, and solutions where possible. Now, this is what makes it sweet for me, and I feel really blessed to be in a position to use my passion to help support children who are faced with various challenges.
Wow, that warms my heart. Passion is palpable, and you need that for a job like this.
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder how the counselors decompress. I mean, you take it on. Hopefully, you don't take it home. Or is there a facility that you have for them to,
Well, there's no standalone facility because SafeSpot, again, with the dynamism that led to its innovation, is completely remote. So our counselors are spread right across Jamaica. And we are completely virtual. But we do have, very importantly, team meetings that allow counselors to share their experiences, to vent, and then within that space to exchange coping skills that work. And then also there is best practice on therapeutic burnout, because that's a real thing, secondary trauma, where you start imbibing, if you will, the pain and so on, and then that starts affecting you. So that's something that's very important, the self-care of the counselor. And these are some of the topics that come up in team meetings and continue to sustain the ability to just keep on keeping on. One of the things that we have as well to pursue, and we've started embryonic discussions, is we are twinned, if you were, with Childline South Africa. And a part of that construct is to have those more experienced counselors kind of say to our counselors, when this is setting in, these are some of the strategies that we use, and just to exchange stories, because each one help one, as we say.
You're leaning on each other. That's what COVID is all about, right? We talk about stronger together. All throughout COVID, that's been the hashtag and the tagline that everybody's using, and it certainly is very, very applicable here. I'm also interested, my curiosity is piqued, with the split between male counselors and female counselors. It's always good to see the men. Sometimes we think counselors and we think women. I don't know why, but it's good to see that we have some young men on board as well.
Right. The men, however, are in the minority because through our recruitment, we barely had any men who applied. And so because, we take it from the perspective that throughout the recruitment process, we're looking for just not only passion, but people who have the commitment and the time. And so we don't headhunt. We actually have a very open and transparent process. Whosoever may come, and then we do the screening as to suitability. So we've not had many men taking up yet, which is why we're so happy. One of our counseling psychologists, for example, was just featured, and he does an amazing job and continues to be a dynamic part of the team, and certainly adds diversity. And we've also had male volunteers and male practicum students. So we do get a balance.
And so that makes me curious again about the split as far as the 2,330 calls you've had, interactions you've had with young people. Do you have a demographic breakdown, or do?
Yes, we do. Since this service launched in May of last year, we have had an overwhelming, disproportionate representation, if you will, of girls who typically call. When I looked, for example, just at the monthly report for April, I saw that we had 83% of those contacts being girls, and so boys continue to be in the minority, and that was very much reflective of what has happened for the last 12 months.
Yeah, that's cultural, you think? And how do we address that?
Maybe. Culture takes time. Some people say an entire generation, which is 30 years. And so a big part of it, I think, is just having those conversations on a sustained basis, not only at the national level, but in the home as well.
Absolutely.
Where we, inculcate in our children, whether boys or girls, that there is no shame in saying, I need help with this issue. I mean, it's something that we should be doing now as adults as well. No human being knows everything or has a solution for everything or is competent with everything. So whenever you need that help, for whatever reason, reach out. So I think it is a cultural dynamic that has contributed to that.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll start to see it shift in due course. The work of SafeSpot, you met the partners earlier. Let's have a word from the folks who have been serving as sponsors from corporate Jamaica. Let's have a look.
Hi, I'm Nasha Monique Douglas, Chief Marketing Officer for Digicel. SafeSpot provided the perfect opportunity for us to use our digital technology to enhance the access experience for children and teens. Today's children are already digital natives, and the internet has become their second home. With this in mind, we're thrilled to introduce the SafeSpot channel on the BIP app. In addition to keeping in touch with their friends and family online, the app also provided a safe space for children to interact with age-appropriate content, play online games, and get all the help they need in one secure location. We encourage parents and children to download the BIP app, subscribe to SafeSpot on the Discover channel, and explore with confidence. In the meantime, we commit to continuing our support for the efforts of the Office of the Children's Advocate. As the country's digital operator, this is what Made in Jamaica also means to us. By creating another safe space for our children, the impact of SafeSpot will make the internet a better place and positively shape their world.
Providing a safe space for our children to freely express themselves and get help while they deal with the challenges of the changes happening around them is very important to us. By collaborating with the Office of the Children's Advocate to establish access to a 24-hour toll-free helpline, we made another major investment in the future of our children. We also made the younger ones feel reassured that they still live in a society that cares for their safety and well-being. SafeSpot has already made some very important life-changing intervention to the children who may have otherwise had nowhere else to go. This is how we use our technology to help to create a nation where no one gets left behind. The Digicel Foundation congratulates the Office of the Children's Advocate and its team on reaching its first year of making a difference in helping our young ones navigate the little things and the big things that confront them. We trust that you will use the feedback and experience of those you have helped to make it better for others who will require your important intervention in the future. Happy anniversary.
I am Sandrina Davis, CEO for Grace and Staff Community Development Foundation. Grace Kennedy cares about the health and well-being of our nation and its citizens of all ages. We are particularly passionate about the mental health and well-being of our young people, as we are looking to them to ensure a brighter future for Jamaica. For this reason, Grace Kennedy was proud to throw our support behind SafeSpot, and we are happy to see the impact that this initiative has had over the last year, which was a time for all of us. We take this opportunity to say congratulations to the Office of the Children's Advocate for its commitment to SafeSpot. We also congratulate you on the launch of the SafeSpot webpage. To the counselors who have been there for the children, day in, day out, your work is truly valued. You are listening and at the same time changing lives, changing outcomes, and changing Jamaica land we love for the better. If it is good for Jamaica, then it is certainly good for Grace Kennedy. We look forward to supporting SafeSpot for many years to come.
When we were approached, immediately we said yes. It was a no-brainer because this is something that resonated with us. The children need an outlet, and we want to thank Diane and her team of trained professionals are there to support the children, and we are glad to be a part of the communication, to lend our talent in advancing this program. We'd also like to congratulate them on their first anniversary, and which we know will be the first of many more to come.
1 year ago, our Flow Foundation partnered with the Office of the Children's Advocate, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, and UNICEF to launch a dedicated national helpline for children and teens in Jamaica as a response to the displacement of children due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Since then, there have been over 1,900 interactions from children, parents, relatives of children, and concerned citizens. The data is a clear indication of the impact of the service and the great need that exists at all levels of society. We are honored to be part of this initiative. A key part of our work at our Flow Foundation is using technology to positively impact lives and empower all Jamaicans, both young and young at heart. We believe that this national helpline for children, SafeSpot, is a significant step in the right direction to make a difference in the lives of our nation's children. Initiatives that focus on the safety of children are also part of what we do here at our Flow Foundation. It is for this reason that we invest millions each year promoting online safety through our Safer Internet Week of activities. We are proud to be part of this very worthwhile venture and delighted to have been able to provide the helpline free of cost across Flow's entire network. We remain committed to this partnership and will continue to do our part, supporting initiatives aimed at enabling the progress of our children. A hearty congratulations to the Office of the Children's Advocate on the 1 year anniversary of SafeSpot. We commend them for all that they have achieved during this period and wish for them continued growth and success.
What would you like to say to your sponsors?
Thank you. Sponsorship is very critical. And when I think of corporate Jamaica coming on board as it has, it makes you realize that, social corporate responsibility is something that we need. And it gives you the reassurance that corporate Jamaica continues to have a heart. Mm-hmm. And so we're tremendously grateful to our sponsors. And in the same vein, welcome any other sponsors who want to come on board. That's a shameless plug.
So that was my next question. Do you have room for other sponsors?
Absolutely.
And if so, how do they jump on board?
All right, so there's always room. We're doing this 365 days a year, 24 hours, 7 days per week. So it means that help is needed. So once a person send an email to info@oca.gov.jm indicating that interest, we will guide them through the process. Alternatively, as you will see on our webpage, soon to be launched, there is the room through which to send a direct email just by clicking a button on that website, indicating whether you're interested in being a volunteer, whether you want to donate in some other way. So we are open for business, as they say on LinkedIn, and are willing to have that discussion to see what's possible.
Yes, this is an all hands on deck initiative, folks. The future of our nation, the health of our nation depends on it. And if they get more help with the SafeSpot initiative, then they can have room for more counselors like these. Have a look.
My experience as a SafeSpot counselor has been a pretty positive experience, I'd say. It's definitely taught me a lot because talking to children and learning their experiences and getting the chance to be there for them in their time of need has definitely been really inspiring, and it also has been a bit of a roller coaster because you have to listen and be there for them, but then you're also feeling all the feels that they feel too. So it's definitely been a crazy ride, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
For persons who haven't heard about SafeSpot, I think it's a very good platform. You know, it's a easy access. You know, any persons can contact the helpline through WhatsApp or Instagram and other platforms. It's available 24/7, and I would say to them that think about it as a friend who is just always there. There's always gonna be someone there who is willing to help, and they are not going to judge you for who you are. Even they're not biased, and they are just trying to offer the best support that they can, and doing so with your safety in mind.
It's one thing to hear anecdotes about what's happening to our children in Jamaica. It's another thing to hear these children tell you their stories in their own voices, talk about their concerns, their fears, their challenges. It's rewarding to have a safe and a comfortable space where children feel safe and comfortable enough to open up and talk with you. I would say our children are in pain, many of them, and our children need support. Our children need an anchor, at least one person to be that anchor for them. And too many of the children who I have experienced on SafeSpot, they live in a house, there are people around, but they don't have the support that they need. It's an open space available to you 24/7, and someone who is caring, someone who is experienced, someone who will listen to you, someone who cares about what matters to you will always be there. So give it a try.
I guess the question is, what would you have to lose, right? Everything to gain, and nothing to lose. And we hear the counselors talking about the children with whom they interact and getting to hear from them in their own voices. We wanted to kind of find out a little bit about what they've been saying about this safe space that is SafeSpot. So here is some of their feedback. that. Welcome to SS. What do you want to talk about today? I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to say thank you. And I guess even greater than your paycheck is the recognition and the reward and just a feeling of satisfaction you get when a child just says, Miss, I don't want to talk about anything today. I just want to say, that's a real payback.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the bonus.
Rich feedback from
That's
the children.
bonus,
Do you get a lot of those messages?
Yes, children are very open, I find, once they get to that stage where they truly believe that you're there for them. And so that certainly is one of the very rewarding aspects of SafeSpot, because we're not, bureaucratic, we're not distant, we're not just, writing down what they say and then getting back to them at some point. It's real, in-person, if you will, interaction. You can hear that voice, or you can have almost a WhatsApp buddy, but a buddy who is older, wiser, and who means you well.
Right.
A nice sounding board, so that relationship, I think, endears them to the team at SafeSpot that much more impactful for them.
And Diane, we want people to understand that, sometimes we see kids and we don't realize the power of their voice and what's going on in their little minds. They're just little big people, really. So they have really complicated thoughts. And so some of the issues that they're grappling with are really big issues, you found. What are some of the things that they're thinking about?
All right, so the top 5, if you will, and what's really concerning is that from we launched, suicidal ideation continues to lead the pack. That's a biggie for our kids. We've had kids who are not only ideating, but who are attempting, right? Another issue is their feelings of being overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with school. They're overwhelmed with navigating relationships at school. They're overwhelmed with feelings of inadequacy, self-esteem issues. We have children who are manifesting anxiety and deep concerns just about, am I socially awkward? Do I fit in? Do people like me? Do they not like me? We have children, for example, who are calling about family concerns. There is, a very antagonistic atmosphere within the home. And so sometimes they're having disputes with family members. Or interestingly, they're not having the disputes, they're fine, but they're hearing it. And we see how that affects them. We're seeing children as well talking about grappling with bereavement and how to grieve, especially when everybody around them is grieving and they feel lost in that process. So there's some big issues that we wouldn't even think children perhaps thought about. And then there are the other routine issues, they feel embarrassed about something and kind of want to feel better about themselves.
Stress from PEP, you told me, was a big one.
Yes, that was a seasonal one, so stress from PEP. And then very interestingly as well, when we were on again, off again with CSEC and CAPE last year, it was like, okay, they're at this stage of readiness and then, it's not happening, or it may happen or it won't. We had kids who were looking to matriculate in institutions outside of Jamaica who were concerned that, oh my goodness, we've missed this now, so we have to sit out a year. And so all sorts of issues
It's been a lot.
that are on our children's minds.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So we thank the counsellors at SafeSpot who have been helping the children to navigate this so well, in fact, that they have been pulled into this umbrella of international organizations because they're benchmarked and their standards are just so high. Let's hear a word now from the Child Helpline International head. Go ahead.
Good day. My name is Patrick Krentz, and I'm the Executive Director at Child Helpline International. We are a big family of child helplines. We have 168 different members in 141 different countries and territories all over the world. And we all share the same vision. Every child has a voice, and we believe that no child in the world should be left unheard. What we do for our members is concentrating around 3 areas. First of all, we help them and support them in setting up quality standards. Secondly, we do data collection and research with the data from our members. And last but not least, we bring out reports and we do advocacy on a regional and global level. And these advocacy efforts can then also be used by our members on a national level. Because together we stand strong. Today is a special day. We celebrate the 1-year existence of one of our members. It is SafeSpot in Jamaica. We are very proud to have them as part of our family. I know very well that 1.5 years ago we started up this process. Different entities and organizations in Jamaica had the great dream to set up a new helpline, and we succeeded. With joint efforts, we can now say that there is a child helpline in Jamaica. In name of the board and the team here in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, we congratulate you with this very important milestone. We really hope that we can continue our good relationship, and we wish you all the best. For now, do celebrate this milestone. Greetings from the Netherlands. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.
All right. Benchmarked amongst the best in the world in 6 months, madam. Yes. What criteria did you have to satisfy? How difficult was that?
Oh boy. So first of all, our standards have to be documented. So for example, SafeSpot has a child safeguarding policy, which we take very seriously, because the do no harm principle is something we live by. And that child safeguarding policy really articulates the expectations of all team members. And there are certain sanctions, if you will, if there are violations, because we hold ourselves to account. Then, of course, there is our confidentiality policy as well, because that's a key part of anything to do with children and, the whole need to push back against stigma and so on. We have our own internal processes as well that guide just the manner in which service is delivered. We have our standard operating protocols, which documents just about everything that you can think of in relation to what to expect. And then, of course, we have complied with and intend to continue complying with data gathering efforts, because we believe in a monitoring and evaluation component
to be able to measure.
That helps us to measure, to improve, and to ensure that we are reflecting some of that very good data that's coming into us from our children, because of course this will now feed into contributing to policy discussions. What's happening, what interventions are needed, and which parishes. So for example, we disaggregate data on a parish by parish basis. So that's why we can say without a shadow of a doubt that we've had interactions from children in all 14 parishes.
Right.
We see how that fluctuates on a monthly basis, which parishes are coming in more, which age groups are hitting us up more, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so it's really been a fantastic year for you, made even more rich by the launch of your webpage. Yes, and I see the absolute joy on your face. You are very, very proud of this project.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this project, I think, has brought us to some of the great highs, but I would be disingenuous if I didn't say it came with some real lows. Some days when I said, what was I thinking? Why did we do this? This is impossible. This is not going to happen next. And then, you remember your core value, which is that even when the work seems tedious, even when it seems as if people are not getting the vision, you keep pressing because of the cause.
Yes.
And so that's what this is today.
Yes, you remembered your why.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so we want to introduce you to SafeSpotJA.com. Let's do the walkthrough so you can look at this game-changingly innovative site. Go ahead.
Hello everyone, welcome to SafeSpot's website. Today I will be giving you a walkthrough on the different features of our page, and to help you to understand even more that help is here, link up anytime. After visiting the SafeSpot website at SafeSpotJA.com, The first page you will see is our homepage. On our homepage, we welcome you to explore the different ways that you can contact us via our toll-free line, WhatsApp, Snapchat, or even Instagram. Each icon will, of course, take you to a new page where you can connect with us. At the bottom right-hand corner of our website, you will also see a Chat with Us icon. By clicking this icon, you can connect and talk with one of our counselors as well. As you continue to scroll, you will find our partners, the Office of the Children's Advocate, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, and UNICEF. You will also see the different companies who are supporting SafeSpot. Our About tab opens to a new page that gives us some more information about SafeSpot. For our visual learners, we have a short video that you can click and watch. Our third tab is what we call our treasure chest. On this page, you will find different activities and to just help you navigate through some of the real-life challenges that you may have. You can choose to explore activities if you sometimes feel overwhelmed, if you feel like things are just too much, or if your family sometimes gets you down. By clicking the Feeling Overwhelmed button, it will open up a page that gives you information about the different types of anxiety. At the end of each description, you can also visit our Calming Toolbox, which will help you to explore different activities that you can use to feel better whenever you feel anxious, nervous, worried, or scared. If you want to learn more about what you can do when you feel as though the world is going to end, one click will open up a page to a self-care bingo that you can use to cope with some of the negative events and feelings that you may experience. You can also download our self-care bingo and use it whenever you do feel this way. By clicking the Family Challenges tab, you can read about the experiences of Daniel, Damien, and Ajani to see how they got help when their family was getting them down. Our volunteer page gives you some insights on how you can also volunteer with us. The next tab brings you to some popular questions that persons usually ask. By clicking on these questions, the answers will be revealed. As we continue to support our children and teenagers, we welcome you to help us in spreading awareness about SafeSpot. Our Spread Awareness page is therefore enriched with several visual resources that you can download on your phones, your tablets, computer, so that you can share it with other persons as well. With our Donate tab, it is our hope to continue providing 24 hours free counseling services to children and teenagers in Jamaica. You can support us in this cause by clicking Donate Now, which will bring you to a page where you can input the necessary information to donate and support us. This covers the different features of the SafeSpot website. We look forward to you visiting our page, exploring, reading, sharing, and connecting with us as we provide 24/7 confidential help to children and teenagers in Jamaica. Because certainly, help is here. Link up anytime.
That's a lot of work right there.
It is. So it's like giving birth all over again. But as you know, the demo showed, help is really here.
Yeah, man.
And so we really just want children, anyone under 18, to link up anytime. Even the website is therapeutic. So can you imagine contacting the counselors?
Yes, I went on to the treasure chest section and I clicked on the calm section and I just listened for a while to the water as it flowed, and I said, wow, these folks have really thought of everything. You really have. And so as you look back now, we're looking back to look ahead, right?
Yes.
Into your second year of operations. I mean, you've had such an amazing first year. How do you top it? Or is that not the mission? I mean, where do you go from here? How do you build? What are the next steps in terms of development and growth of the initiative?
All right, so growth is always in season, top the first year. And one of the things that we're particularly pleased about bumping into year 2 is that we now have a fully integrated call, data management, and social media software, a platform that integrates everything and makes our systems that much more effective in terms of, you know, calculating numbers on a daily basis, monthly basis, interacting in real time with what the counselors are doing. If there's the need for any body system, you know, like we need to talk to a psychologist right away, that can be done. And so the support that coalesces around the child is that much more instantaneous and effective. So we think that this tool will only help to sharpen us a little bit more. And of course, you know, with the website as well, we're very hopeful that this will assist us with getting information out there, with our very active social media pages, which will become very active. We started kind of cranking up this week, and we intend to build on that communication strategy in a very effective way, and to see how creative partnerships can help us to grow. So this is a government-led initiative, but very importantly, we are supported by people who are always thinking outside the box. I'll give you 2 examples very quickly. I mentioned that we'll have cranking up of our communications strategies. And that's because UNICEF, again, has said, are there any needs? And of course I said yes. And so we have a communications consultant that has been engaged on a short-term basis by UNICEF, who is supporting us in that effort. Digicel, they literally offered to build a BIP channel for SafeSpot, which they have done, and they have been pushing traction from the Digicel end to our services. You know, just this week they said, well, it's National Children's Day. We have to incorporate through our own PR people now what's happening at the OCA, what's happening at SafeSpot. So it's those kinds of collaborative efforts that really, you know, solidify the fruit that SafeSpot has been reaping, and we're confident that going into year 2, this will only get bigger and better.
And so your word to your partners, your sponsors, your team to Jamaica about SafeSpot is?
SafeSpot is real value. SafeSpot connects and gives children who perhaps sometimes don't have that outlet a voice that is respected, that is listened to, and that voice that is their tool to get assistance. So team, let's keep on keeping on. Let us know that we are making a difference. And I also want to say unreservedly to the team, a big thank you, because without you, there is no SafeSpot. To our sponsors and our partners, thank you so very much. You are a part of what is right with us as a country, and I want to encourage you to continue supporting worthwhile efforts that really are making an impact in children's lives in an immediate and effective way. And of course, to our children or under 18, you know, children and teens, SafeSpot is that voice that guides you without judgment. SafeSpot is that service that you can reach anytime. So like some of our children who call us at 2 in the morning because they're having nightmares, we can be that for you. For some of our children who live in violence-prone communities, who are so afraid because of what's happening outside, you can't talk, but you can send a WhatsApp, and you are guaranteed of that support. And so reach out, get the help, use the help, because as we keep saying via our tagline, help is here, link up anytime.
You know, while I endorse what you've said, there is no team that can work without a fantastic leader. And so we have to say kudos to you, Diane, for how you have steered this ship and put it in a direction where it's sailing smoothly and effectively. Even when it gets a little choppy, everybody is in and on board and rowing in the same direction, and the buy-in is there. And we salute you for your leadership of this initiative. So thank you, and thank you to your team and everybody who's involved for what you're doing for Jamaica, because this is really for Jamaica and for us to have a brighter and more successful future. I thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Diane. And I thank you for joining us wherever in the world you are logging on today. Please visit SafeSpot. Spread the word, everybody. Spread the word. What's the helpline? The number is?
Link up anytime. Okay, so in terms of the toll-free number, it's 888-SafeSpot, which translates to 888-723-3776. The WhatsApp number is 876-439-5199. And our handle on Instagram and Snapchat is @SafeSpotJA. And as I said, we have our own BIP channel, and that handle is also @SafeSpotJA. And you can also reach us now via our website, because once you click, it comes directly through our platform to our counselors. So just link up and let's help you in any way that we can.
Because help is here anytime. So link up whenever you'd like to. Again, thank you everybody for joining us today, and take good care.